How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I'm your host, FaZe Crypto. We are currently looking at Bitcoin moving towards the upside now at 9,059 at the current time of making this video. Of course, the subject of discussion will be tied into Cardano and some of the recent news that we've been seeing happening with Cardano. I'd like to just start off by discussing the Cardano price rises 15% on big partnership that we recently saw, which is of course pretty interesting, and just to see Cardano sort of riding the wave of the excitement that we've been seeing happening. But of course, I'd also like to say we could be just seeing a double top right now sort of situation playing out with Bitcoin. There's plenty of analysts out there who are sort of trying to play this off by having more of a bearish perspective, while everybody else is attempting to cash in on the Bitcoin bull sort of fanaticism that we see happening. And it's always interesting to see how the narrative shifts, of course, towards the bullish perspective. Now, I'm sort of have a measured perspective when it comes to these things. I'm still expecting to see Bitcoin price drop. I don't think that we're in the sort of influx right now where we're going to see it going up to potentially it could go up to 10K and then back to 7K would be my perspective. And usually I don't do too much technical analysis during these short 10-minute videos. I like to save the technical analysis for more or less the live streams, and a lot of the technical analysis that we see on crypto YouTube is horseshit. I mean, there's plenty of YouTubers out there who are passing off TA that is pretty ridiculous if you ask me, but still, I mean, we do still have cryptos on a pretty massive sale right now, comparatively. If I were to give my analysis of the situation, I mean, a $58 Litecoin is significantly lower, I mean, than remember $400 Litecoin or something like that at point. But regardless, I do want to talk about this 13% spike, recovery for the first time in 8 months. So Bitcoin potential rise to 10K against the ongoing Corona frenzy may have been limited by one of the rival cryptocurrency projects. Cardano, or ADA, surges by close to 10% against the benchmark cryptocurrency on Tuesday, regarding a fresh top near 588 sats. The move pushed the ADA BTC exchange rate to its 8-month high, also inching closer to a long-term technical resistance that keeps the pair in an overstretched consolidation phase. The wild upside swing followed CEO Charles Hoskinson's announcement of entering partnership PwC, a $42.4 billion global gain. The senior executive released that PwC could utilize Cardano's blockchain within its network of professional services, which includes so I mean, it is interesting. Definitely go and make sure that you guys check out the update 01/27/20. It is always interesting to listen to Charles Hodgkinson and his YouTube channel. But yeah, it is interesting nonetheless just to watch what we've been seeing happening with Cardano, in the light of a lot of the different developments that we've been watching play out. And in particular, I think that it will be very interesting. Of course, active Dash users in Venezuela estimated to hit 1 million in 2020. This is pretty interesting. I mean, especially when we see what's of course been occurring in Venezuela and how cryptocurrency has been coming into its own, and actually being, I mean, especially something like Dash, adoption of the Dash digital currency seems to be growing quite impressively. According to Dash, the number of active Venezuelan user wallets has grown 562% in the past 7 months. So it seems like they're kind of being forced into the crypto space, due to political and economic economic disparity in their country, which is sort of interesting to see crypto actually serving to be a solution to an actual problem in the real world. And I think that this is actually going to push Venezuela into the cryptocurrency paradigm, as leaders in a large sense. Of course, we did see people in Venezuela using RuneScape money as cash, so they've really had to turn to the internet in hopes to escape, and find various different solutions to their various different economic issues, and inflation definitely is one among them. This video right here I find pretty interesting. I might as well just have it play in the background. It's basically talking about Bitcoin is something that comes out of thin air, and it literally shows us cash sort of materializing, in a factory in sort of that industrial revolution sort of meme. And it is interesting to see, the digital age versus the crypto age, and of course. In that same sense, I think that it will be interesting to witness, this next couple of years as we see the obsolescence of cash, being slowly encroached upon by, inflation is, our best friend, as crypto, traders and enthusiasts. It will be very interesting to see how, but I like this, they're putting this down, and then they go through the motions. It does sort of show how a lot of these different things have aged, in a large sense, and especially how the space has come a long way. And I think that it will be interesting to see how smart contracts and in the like, cryptos like Cardano will have a very interesting part to play, as we see something like Bitcoin as it continues to age, and of course the new technologies sort of coming into their own. Definitely some very exciting things. Top performers at the time making this video, we've got Kick Token, 33%, sort of interesting. Golem, 7%. Tron, be making a video on Tron in the near future. But yeah, regardless, it is interesting to see just how crypto has been coming into its own, and of course what we've been seeing happening in the space. Now, of course, remember this video is for entertainment, educational purposes. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just your, friendly neighborhood YouTuber. So make sure that you guys are, doing your own research. And of course, remember, I'm not your dad. So you gotta, take everything that you see on the internet with a grain of salt. But it's still, at that same context, it is interesting to see how Bitcoin is making its rounds and really coming into its own, and whether or not we actually see this amount to a significant, historical point in Bitcoin's history, it remains to be seen. Like I said, I still maintain my perspective of the current time, that we're way ahead of ourselves, and that $9,000 seems relatively expensive, if you do in fact ask me. And it will be interesting to see how we watch the altcoins and the like sort of, because my analysis would be, we have thousands of cryptos out right now, and I think that it's going to be a sort of a top 100 situation, top 200 situation. And then, of course, maybe, something that has some real utility, if we want to go, far back into the pages of, in on the coin market cap. Those might, there might be one or two of like the further on ranking cryptos that actually have potential. And I'll be making a video of examples of those in an upcoming piece of content, probably talking about it during the live stream as well. But nonetheless, it is some very interesting things happening, on the global stage with Bitcoin as it currently turns out. So make sure that you guys comment down below. What do you think about the potential for Cardano bull run? Of course, comment down below letting us know what country you're watching this from. Always interesting to see. And all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.